I came back from war. And my wife said, "How are you home already?" I dropped my duffel bag on the porch, and my wife Jade stumbled backward like she'd seen a ghost. "What do you mean?" My deployment ended right on schedule. Her face went white with shock. Before I could ask what was wrong, my 6-year-old son Tommy came sprinting out and wrapped himself around my legs so tight it hurt. He was sobbing. "You're alive! You're alive! Mommy said you died!" I looked at Jade for an explanation. She just stood there frozen with tears streaming down her face. I asked, "Jade, what is he talking about?" Jade just stared at the ground. I didn't think you were gonna make it." That's when Jade sat down and told Tommy to go to his room. He didn't want to leave me, but she screamed at him so loud he ran off crying. I scoffed at her before going up to check on him. On the way up, I passed by our bedroom, and there was a man I didn't recognize sleeping in my bed. My voice came out cold. "Who is that?" Jade had followed me up. Her eyes were red and puffy from crying. "His name is Steven." Before I could say anything, Steven woke up. He saw me standing there in my veteran uniform and his face twisted with confusion. He looked at Jade, then back at me. "Wait, isn't this your husband? I thought he died." He turned to my wife. "Jade, what the hell is going on? You showed me the obituary." I went to his funeral. That's when I realized something that made this whole situation even more twisted. Steven didn't know either. She had lied to both of us. I asked him directly, "How long have you been here?" 8 months. We met on Tinder and said you'd been killed overseas. 8 months. My wife had replaced me for 8 months while I was getting shot at. Steven started pacing. His voice was shaking with anger now. "I quit my job in Denver for this relationship. I had a promotion lined up. I gave up everything because she said your son needed stability." Then he pulled out his phone and showed me bank statements. $6,000 in therapy payments. He had been paying for my son to go to grief therapy. Therapy to mourn a father who was still alive. My eyes landed on Jade's hand. There was a ring on her finger that I didn't recognize. Steven saw me looking. "She told me we'd get married after enough time passed. She said Tommy was already calling me dad." I felt sick. I turned to Jade. "He calls him dad?" "Wah, wah." She was crying, but I didn't care anymore. None of her tears meant anything to me now. Steven's voice cracked. "My brother died in war 5 years ago. When Jade told me you'd been killed and she needed help, I thought helping your family was what he would have wanted. I thought I was honoring your memory." I had to grab the dresser to keep myself standing. I sent love letters home every single week. I told Jade how much I missed her. I told Tommy about where I was and how much I loved him. She had been reading those letters while another man slept in my bed. I pulled out my phone and tried to log into our bank account. That's when I found it. After she declared me dead, she filed for my life insurance, $400,000. And underneath that, I saw dozens of cash withdrawals. She had spent all the money she got from my death on gambling. Jade started sobbing harder. "I was going to pay it back." I cut her off. "Get out. This is my house too. Get out." That's when my son Tommy came down the stairs. His little voice was shaking. "Why is everyone yelling? Why did you say Daddy was dead?" Jade moved toward him, but he stepped back. He looked between all of us with tears running down his face. "Was it all a lie?" Steven knelt down to his level. His voice was gentle. "Tommy, your dad's been alive the whole time. He never left you. He was always trying to come home to you." Tommy ran to me and I picked him up. He buried his face in my neck and cried, "I thought you were dead. I thought you left me forever." I held him tight. "I never stopped being your daddy. Not for one single second." Behind me, Steven was already on the phone with the police. "Yes, I need to report military life insurance fraud." He looked at Jade with disgust. Then he made another call to her father, an ex-veteran who had served 2 tours. I heard Steven explain everything she did. The fake death, the insurance money, the gambling, the 8 months of lies. Her father's voice came through the phone loud enough for all of us to hear. "Jade, you better not be there when I arrive." Beep. He hung up. Jade looked like a trapped animal deciding whether to run or fight, but there was nowhere left to run, and she had no one left to lie to. Jade's father made sure she faced charges. Tommy still has nightmares sometimes, but I remind him that his mom is a locked-up hoe who can't hurt him again.